You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. The following podcast contains spoilers and rude words. We watch a thing. We watch a thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Watched a Thing with Billy and Dave. How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm all right. I've got a beer now, so
Yep.
at the end of a long, cruddy day.
Yeah, I've cracked a ginger beer. It's been a rough day here too because
Fuck off! You've done nothing all day.
No, I had to watch Baghead. Before we get into that, though, I reckon it's time for us to make a little announcement, mate.
Oh, gather around, kids.
Yeah, a little family meeting. Mummy and Daddy are here. Because, you know what? They always say go big or go home, and we already record this podcast from our homes.
Yeah,
so we decided it's time to go big, didn't we, mate?
Sure did.
So,
bigger the better.
So from next week, we are launching the Potty Mouth Radio Network, which we're both very excited about. You know, it's been over.
I've always wanted a conglomerate.
Well, it's been over 6 months now that we've had the Hunt for the Perfect Album going up for the patrons, and we kind of decided that show deserves its own feed rather than being kind of crammed in here awkwardly where people can't search for a music show. So from next Monday, that will be its own feed. You'll be able to find us at pottymouthradio.com, hopefully, if all goes well. Yep. And then we've got some other fun stuff in the works too, mate.
Oh, so much stuff.
So much stuff. We're working on
new shows, new merch store.
That's
new
right.
Stuff.
We've got a Dungeons and Dragons podcast in the work, which is going to be very exciting because I've never played.
No, well, I think we've got a party of 4. 2 of us used to play a lot, but not for decades. You've never played, and then we've got one poor person who we're going to be relying on to
show us how to do everything. And as well as that, Noosk and I are 10 episodes into recording our Friends Rewatch podcast that I've been joking about forcing her into for years now. It was the start of lockdown. I said, we should do that. And we're finally doing it. So that's been fun as well. So
I've been listening. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because every fucking show in the world's doing bloody rewatch things, but they're doing... no one's that I'm aware of is doing it for one of the best shows of all time. So
that's right.
That seems like a big gap in the market.
Yeah. So there you go. So some fun stuff coming. So keep an eye on Dave and I for Potty Mouth Radio. But shall we get into Baghead, my friend?
Why not? Stupidest named movie in history.
Baghead is a 2023 horror film directed by Alberto Cordor, written by Christina Pamies and Bryce Maguire and Lorcan
That's a really
Riley.
Funny name. Pamies.
It stars Jeremy Irvine, Freya Allen, Ruby Barker, and Peter Mullen. And I'm not going to ask you what it's about. Let's do this. A young woman inherits a rundown pub and discovers a dark secret within its basement, the Baghead. Shall we get into it, mate?
Sure.
All right. You told me last week that you were actually excited for this. You'd seen a trailer. I had not seen any trailer.
The trailer was quite good. I was quite keen.
Right. I went in completely blind. All I'd seen was the poster. Did the trailer give much away?
Just not really much to give away. I mean, this is quite obviously based on a short film.
Yeah, and it made me wonder what came first, the short film or Talk to Me, because this is very, very similar to Talk to Me as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling bad I slagged off Talk to Me as much as I did, because there's now a framework of comparison.
Because now, that's true, yeah.
See, I'll rip the Band-Aid off. This is not a very good film. I was really disappointed.
I'm in a really mixed place with it because there were elements of it that I quite enjoyed.
It had moments that worked.
Yeah.
But the screenplay was pretty shit.
I mean, even then, I feel like what annoys me is I feel like there's a decent film in here somewhere. Like
Probably the short film it's based on.
Because I actually felt like there were moments where what it was doing for me was executed better than Talk to Me, which I know people here are going to be slagging me off. I know that there are many people out there who think Talk to Me is one of the best horror movies of all time. I didn't think that. From memory, you didn't
That's
either.
people who have not seen many horror movies, I would think.
I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was a great movie. There are moments here.
Fine movie.
There are moments here where I think that the execution here isn't bad. I actually really like the idea of the Baghead creature. And I like that transformation where, you know, she eats the object, you take the bag off, and there is the... I actually really like that idea. I just don't think this movie actually did a lot with anything, and it has more rules than a game of Monopoly, and it breaks them fucking constantly.
Yeah. Oh, and this is a prime example of one of the biggest annoyances that horror movies have for people, which is people doing dumb shit.
Yeah, oh my God.
Every decision in this film, I was just going, why?
Agreed.
I tell you what, she and her friend roll with the punches pretty fucking quick. What is a fucking horrendous, nightmare-inducing horror show of an experience down in the scary basement.
Yeah.
There's not a second's consideration or freak out before she's like, oh, yeah, we can make a few bucks. She's like, where is the fucking panic? Oh, my God.
Agreed. Yeah, and literally all she wants is to make a few bucks at first. Not at all does she have the motivation, until much later in the movie, very randomly, does she have the motivation of wanting to converse with someone that she wants to talk to who's passed. It's really just about making a buck for her. And it just, I don't know. I don't care about these characters. I'll tell you what, the one thing that I think this movie has going for it is that it doesn't hold back with its punches in terms of who is willing to kill. Spoiler alert, by the end of the movie, every single character except the Baghead is dead. And I'm all here for it. This is, I mean, go like Baghead.
The ending, well, when you think about the plot of this, the Baghead, or I can't remember if they actually give a name for the quote unquote witch who
just the Baghead.
But really, other than the friend who cops it, who is a decent enough person, Baghead is our heroine.
100%.
She's a hardly done by person who was persecuted, tortured, burnt at the stake, brought back to life, tortured again, kept as a prisoner. With the exception maybe Peter Mullen, her dad, bad egg earlier in his life, but we get this. He was a good guy at the end.
Yeah.
Of his life, but other than
I'm still all right with Baghead offing him.
Other than him, there is not a single likable. Even Freya Allen, you just nah.
Yeah, and I will say this:
purely out for self.
I thought that her acting was pretty great. I thought that she did a really good job.
For being a bit wooden. I think all of the cast were good.
Yeah, and same.
Given that this is a first-time feature director who has only done the short version of this film previously, that's all. The only things he's directed. How he's managed to pull together the likes of Freya Allen, Saffron Burrows, Ned Dennehy, Peter Mullen. You know, these are all very well-known faces who've been in lots and lots of things.
Yeah.
This random guys pulled them together for a screenplay entitled Baghead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this movie is going to do well. I know that it only just came out literally 4 days ago. There's no Wikipedia page for this movie, which has never happened in the history of the show.
That's wild to me. You know, everything has a fucking wiki page 100%. These days.
And like, we've done smaller indie movies on this show before. I've never ever come across a film without a Wikipedia page, so I have no idea what the budget is or anything. I have very little info about this movie. I don't think that many people are going to rush out to see it. I was shocked when I went today. And I went to my local Denny, Canberra. It was playing in Cinema 1, the biggest cinema, like a 500-seat cinema, usually reserved for the big releases. There were 3 of us in there. I don't know I don't know why they were showing it in that cinema. Like, it didn't. No one
seems to be going to this. I was 7 p.m., which is yes, it was a weekday last night, but it's not 11 p.m. or anything.
Yeah.
And there was one other group of 4 in the cinema. Yeah. It wasn't in the big Titan Lux or anything. It was in one of the shitty little smaller cinemas, but at a Reading, so it was the decent locals. And no one there.
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's getting pilloried by critics.
Yeah.
I mean, a fair number of people I follow or are friends with on Letterboxd have seen this. I think it's hovering between a 0.5 out of 5 and 1.5. I don't think I saw anyone who was higher than that.
I had a scroll through Letterboxd. Most of the reviews were along the lines of Baghead, more like bag of shithead. And they did make me chuckle. I'm not going to lie.
There's some funny reviews out there.
Yeah, I don't think this movie is that terrible. Like, let's talk about.
I don't think it's as good as Talk to Me, but I think I gave Talk to Me like a 2.5 or 3 out of 5. I thought it was competent, but the inexperience of because it was made by YouTubers, it wasn't made by that also was a first time thing. And I think this is similar in a few ways. I think the cast are all good, as they mostly were in Talk to Me as well. I think there are some very, very good moments.
Yeah.
I think the direction overall is competent, if unremarkable.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the screenplay and the writing is what lets it down, as was the case with Talk to Me. I think there's just too many holes in it. People act stupidly. There's no logic. There's too many things that happen because the plot wants them to happen rather than because that is what would happen.
I agree. That's my ultimate issue with it. I agree. I think the direction is competent. I think the low budget does show itself at times, particularly in the effects. Every time we see flames, which happens quite a bit, it's very poorly composited.
And there's a lot of them at the end where I was going, oh, look, they've just pasted that shit in Photoshop.
Yeah, and you can tell. You can tell. I think the design of the Baghead creature is kind of cool. I think the makeup effects aren't bad.
That's one clever way to get around a low budget is we don't have to show you the freaky shit.
All you see is the mouth, and when you do see the mouth, it's pretty grotesque. But
anything that involved non-human, so that you see a wedding, an engagement ring get put into a mouth. When the script requires Baghead to swallow an iPhone,
you don't see it
under the bag.
I know those fucking cowards. Show us someone eating a phone, damn it. Yeah.
One thing which made me, actually, a few things made me laugh out loud in this film, but the first thing that made me laugh out loud noticeably was when, poor old Peter Mullen, Iris's dad, tries to off Baghead by pouring petrol and booze all over the place.
Yeah.
Goes to light his lighter, it doesn't light, and then Baghead makes him drop it. Baghead doesn't burn, but he, of course, fully immolates himself.
Yeah.
To the point where he is, but third degree burns all over. He is an unrecognized. He makes Deadpool look like Brad Pitt.
Oh, but then they still make her identify the body, a man that she hasn't seen in 20 odd years.
And it's strange. Someone is burnt to death where they don't have a face anymore. So we will get an estranged family member who hasn't seen them in decades anyway
to come and identify this corpse. I laughed as well. That's where I think the screenplay comes down, because, like I said, I think conceptually there's some interesting stuff going on here, and I think that the ultimate kind of plot, and even the way the narrative unfolds with Baghead escaping at the end, I actually really like.
The ending is by far the best thing about this. It's one of the few things where I thought, I didn't see that coming. It's cleverly orchestrated. I think the little flashback bit where they're attempting to show that this entire thing has been the plan from the beginning. That was clunky. I think it was poorly done, because I got to the end of that. I didn't actually get from what you just showed me that anything was... You went too quick or whatever, I didn't get it. But the sequence of events of him being convinced to kill her and then bringing her back but that bit was very clever and very well done, and I did like the ending in that sense.
Yeah. My biggest problem and the downfall with this movie, I think, are the rules and when it adheres to them and when it doesn't. I don't know why at any point...
That 2 minute thing was very loose.
Why does anybody ever bother setting a timer? Not at one point in this movie does the timer go off and they actually finish. Nobody adheres to it. Even her dad, who's the one warning them and stuff, nobody adheres to it.
Supposedly, that's when Baghead takes over.
So
except when they need the mum or the dad to exert
to
their power and
like when he's setting her on fire, we know that like what's the point of the restraints? We know that Baghead can get out of the restraints. We saw it the very first scene they do it.
There is no reason for them to be there, because Baghead has to adhere to her commands outside the hole, and I'll get to the fucking hole in a minute.
Which Iris goes into at one point. And
don't even fuck me. But on this side of, in the basement, Baghead has to obey the commands of the curator, caretaker, whatever the fuck they call her. So why do you need restraints?
Yeah.
The restraints don't seem to restrain her anyway.
Exactly.
The very first time we see Baghead come out, they make a big show of him how he knows how to do this when he hasn't done it before is another thing that irked me. He made a big thing, I've not done this before. But he walks into the door of the basement, gets the lantern off the wall and lights it, goes down there, says she needs to sit in the chair.
Yeah.
I know, we got to put the restraints on it. How do you know all this shit?
Yeah.
Anyway, they make a big show of having to put the straps on and buckle them down and restrain her. Literally is less than 2 minutes in, probably.
Yes.
She's out of them, climbing over the ceiling like a fucking spider.
Yeah, and yet when he's dousing her in petrol and stuff, and we're past the 2-minute mark, she just sits there pleading with him, and it's like, what the fuck is happening here?
It was wild, and I mean, Freya Allen's character, and no slight on Freya Allen, we like her in The Witcher, we like her in this, she was great, but everything she does for this entire movie was just ridiculous.
Not a single thing is thought through at all.
They find themselves in this terrifying, horrible ghost story, but rather than go back to not having a lot of money and being a struggling student, she says, oh no, I'm going to stay in this literal fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I'll make a couple of £1,000.
Well, and
she's got no indication that there'll be anyone after.
No, that's right. No one else has come to the house. Yeah.
So she has his money.
Yeah, she's got his $4,000 plus whatever else. Yeah, I agree. And I think the film could do a better job of that. I think they try to let you know that she basically has no life outside of this. She's got no family. She's a very kind of damaged person.
Kid. She's got one friend in the world.
Yeah, they could make that so much clearer. Make her more damaged.
Show her living on the streets or something. Maybe she's sleeping under cardboard on the street or something. Drum at home, because they break back into the apartment she's been evicted. It's a nice apartment. I know she's been evicted, but she's been living fine. She's not struggling.
Yeah.
And then the ghost of her own father, who, I mean, I was welling up when he went through his whole. I was stuck here. I did it to keep my family safe. I would have given anything to see them again. She's a fucking robot through that. I was welling up. She didn't seem to care.
Yeah.
But he makes this whole song and dance speech to her about, you're fine as long as you're on this side of the wall. Don't go through the hole. Through the hole, she can hurt you. Don't go through the hole. She's a liar. The demon is a liar. He will use lies. It will mix lies with the truth to confuse you. I mean, fuck, has she not seen The Exorcist? The minute she hears this, the voice of her friend coming from through the hole.
Yeah.
Saying, Iris, where are you? Not sounding frightened.
Yes.
And then she proceeds to go through what seemed like about 900 meters of convoluted tunnels.
Yeah.
On the other side of this, she must have been 5 suburbs over by the time she found her.
Yeah.
That network, those catacombs go for miles.
Yeah. Baghead never, and then she just leaves.
Fucking going. At no point does she stop and go, you know what? Maybe this isn't my friend.
Yeah.
Maybe my friend is dead.
Yeah.
Why would my friend have gone 9 miles down this dark tunnel without a fucking torch?
Yes. Yep.
And be calling out, not even sounding scared. No, she keeps fucking walking because the plot needs her to.
See, but I would get, make the hole more mysterious. Give us something more with the hole, rather than it just being this series of tunnels. And then she does get out. There was no need for that warning. Apparently, going through the hole was completely fine. Other
than chasing her.
Yeah.
Why did Baghead not kill her the minute she stepped through? Why did it let her walk all the way around and find the body of her friend?
I know. It doesn't make any sense. And even the Neil character, I liked the narrative and the way that things were revealed to us. I like that,
the fact that he killed his wife, I thought was a nice twist. I didn't see that coming, but
yeah,
she still stayed friends with him. She still hung around him until he literally tried to kill her.
That's the thing. He was clearly a bad dude from the very first time he interacts, and he starts questioning his wife about who she was seeing and stuff.
I thought he was going to ask her the combination to a safe. I knew it was selfish. It wasn't about, I just want to say goodbye.
Yeah. But that's your first hint that this guy's kind of a prick. Like, just fucking, stop hanging out with him.
Yeah. Fucking get your own friend killed to hang out with rapey McMurderer. Fucking. Yeah, I was super disappointed by this film. The trailer was all, edited together from the cool moments, because there are some cool creepy moments. There's some cool jump scares. That there are little bits that are all great, and the trailer was kind of all of those. And obviously, in a trailer, you don't get all of the flaws in the plot. And everything.
Yeah. I will say this: I did got like there were 2 jump scares that did make me jump. So I'll give the film credit where it's due. If that's what you're going to a film like this for, you'll probably jump, and that's kind of fun.
It is, but I mean, if you're just after a jump scare, go rewatch bloody The Conjuring or something.
I was going to say there are much better movies that integrate, because a jump scare is kind of cheap. Let's face it, and to be a good,
I don't think any of the jump scares in this. Because I think there are really good jump scares that are cleverly and artfully put together. You look at things like the clapping in The Conjuring, or Exorcist 3 is another one that springs to mind. This is not that. This is just literally boom.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheap, but it wasn't done badly.
Yeah. Like they were effective when done. Like there's the scene where I think it's the friend is reading on her laptop about the former owner of the house, and then she closes the little laptop, and he's sitting there behind the screen.
I yelped like a puppy who's just been kicked.
Yeah, I jumped.
That genuinely got me. I wasn't expecting, but by the same token, it made no fucking sense.
No, it didn't, and we never see that ghost again. It's so unclear.
Were there ghosts in this film? Is that what that was telling us?
That's my question, because
it's not a ghost movie.
Yes,
there are no ghosts in this.
Yeah,
and then because she goes out to the middle of it must have been somewhere in England. I assumed from the name it was somewhere in Eastern Europe, Friedling or whatever it was. I thought it was Eastern Europe, and then suddenly she's driving there. It was like, gee, she got there fucking quickly, but apparently it's just somewhere in the fucking countryside.
Yeah.
But when she goes to finds his house, and he's got the big fucking serial killer / cop who's been fired for being too obsessed with the case and still following it, wall of stuff. Which I think wasn't made nearly enough of. I don't know what she got from that.
No.
Other than a photo that was like, oh, wait a minute, that's the fucking solicitor guy.
Yeah.
He must
which
be
again was never explained. We never picked up on that either. Yes, I know. Because again, there are some threads in this movie that are kind of cool, and there are some sequences that are kind of effective, but nothing really ties together and it doesn't follow through. And this is a short movie. They could have, I don't think they needed to add any more, but they could have easily followed through on some of those threads.
They needed something, because, but maybe Ned Dennehy had moved on to another project and they only had him for that one sign the bit of paper thing. But they hinted through a big chunk of that giant exposition-y scene at the countryside house that the friend goes to, that he's somehow involved. Is he the guy who's, is he immortal? Is he the guy that just goes around getting people to sign on the line like fucking Lucifer?
Yeah.
They're kind of hinting that there's something supernatural about this guy, because his office was cleared out.
Disappears.
Why?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, why? I agree.
Was he over there? I don't know.
Is he a ghost?
Oh,
we don't know, Dave. Maybe there are ghosts.
The more I talk about it, the more this film aggravates me because there are so many fucking holes in it.
Yeah.
There's more holes in this. The holes in this film are bigger than the hole that Baghead comes through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would have loved for that hole to have been something deeper. I love a grimy hole. Give me a grimy hole and make it interesting. You know, like
I'll send you some links.
Rather than just 900 meters of tunnels, you know, maybe she walks in there and it's like the Upside Down, you know, or maybe she walks in there and it's like a portal to the past or something. You can do so much with a hole.
Why did it go anywhere?
Yeah.
The whole point of the story was they walled her up. You don't wall someone up with catacombs
She's
to
not
fucking
a free-range dog.
You wall them up in a wall so they die.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
how are you scoring the head of bag?
It's fucking half a point lower than it was when we started. Look, 3.5.
Out of 5 or out of 10?
10.
3.5. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm the same, 3.5. I felt like I was a 4 straight after walking out, but yeah, I dislike it even more after talking about it.
Yeah, it's even dumber, and there are more issues with the screenplay the more we discuss it. If we keep on talking, half an hour from now it'll be a 1, so we should probably stop now before we start getting just needlessly cruel. Look, if I made a film first time out of the gate and this was my first film, it probably wouldn't be this good. So while I can sit here objectively and go, there are massive problems with this film, it's better than I could do. So fucking good. Well done, Mr. Corridor.
All right. Well, hopefully next week will be better because I feel like it's been a bad. I feel like it's been a bad run.
It's been a bad fucking year.
But I'm really hoping that Dune Part 2...
100% confident will be the best film of the year.
Yeah, because next week we are getting to Dune Part 2, which I have very high hopes for, which doesn't bode because I've had high hopes for plenty of movies this year.
Oh, no, yeah, but we've got a Part 1 that we can base things on. We know the director. We know it's going to be more of the same, but better because now we've got Pugh and Taylor-Joy all over the joint. Swing!
All right, well, that's next week. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, I guess you can find us at pottymouthradio.com. And if you want to help support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/pottymouthradio. Don't forget to go check out the other shows on the network. By the time you're listening to this, there aren't any. But in about 4 days, Hunt for the Perfect Album will be up and live. So please go subscribe to that. If you're into music, if you have friends that are into music, tell your friends, share it around. And we'll be rolling out the rest of the Pottymouth Radio shows over the next month or so. So
yeah, so much happening.
So thank you for joining us here at We Watched a Thing, and we'll catch you next week.
Cheerio.